unique build now, and while yours might be different from this build, I'll show you the order that I generally prefer to put things together. One of the most straightforward ways to get started with a build is to first decide on which FCS part you should use. That's because this forces you to decide early whether you want to build something for close, medium, or long range, or whether you want something that's just decent at every range. Having an idea in mind helps when getting started, so let's aim for a close range build and choose a close range part. The FCS I want to go for is this, the FCS G2-P10 SLT. It has good performance at close to medium range, and it comes with the added benefit of quick missile lock time, which is great.
Oh, that's
we'll be
very
using
crucial
as well. So next, let's choose a good close-range arm weapon to suit our FCS. Expanded spec screens reveal optimal ranges for firing each weapon, and the one for the MG.
So he's giving you good builds to begin with as well.
That it's a great close-range option. So let's equip 2 of them, one for each arm. What we're using now is called a double trigger build, meaning you'll be dual firing these machine guns at once with both of your triggers. The Ludlow's description also specifically calls out that it's great in dual trigger builds. This is why reading descriptions can be so useful. As mentioned before, the description on our FCS
they give you everything. They give you all the tools you just need to know how to do it.
Which means that our missiles will also be a very effective tool. So let's equip 2 sets of those on our back, and all of a sudden we have a build that is deadly at close range and with long range missiles as well. Looking good.
These are good builds.
The next decision I like to make is legs. You have to ask what would suit a close range build. Well, you could go light and avoid taking damage entirely, but as a beginner, you're probably going to get hit a lot anyway, so might as well go with something heavy for now. Let's go with the Tian Cheng bipedal legs, as these give us a high load limit to play with while we select our other parts. Having a high load limit makes it so much easier to put together an AC. I can confidently select heavier parts now, and by intentionally selecting 4 heavy weights, I can kind of just trust that the other specs will naturally be quite good. Another way to quickly put together a build is to buy parts that just exist within a family of parts. Most parts will have keywords like VP or Melander, as well as a company logo that can help you ascertain the family of parts that they exist within. For example, buying all of Schneider's Nachtreihe parts will make your build very fast and great in the air.
That looks awesome.
Buying all of Dafang's Tian Cheng parts
it looks really cool.
will naturally make you slower, but very tanky. So by buying all of the parts in a family, you can easily get a good idea of the type of AC those parts are moving you towards.
And it will be a build depending on what you want.
Mix and match. Buying all the parts in the family is kind of a guarantee that they'll work well together, which might be a welcoming thing to many beginners. Because I've replayed Mission 5 so many times, I have over 1 million credits. So
Holy Jesus!
I'm going to use these to buy every frame part in Dafang's heavyweight family of parts. If you don't have enough credits here, consider replaying missions or selling parts that you don't need.
You can play Mission 5 all you want to get all the money you want.
Don't worry. Consider parts to be a goal to work towards, and just see if you can get by in the meantime. Next, let's choose boosters. Manually dodging with a quick boost can be a lot of extra input for a beginner, so let's just select for a high thrust step instead. This will enable us to move at a high speed by default, and we should just naturally avoid a lot of attacks this way.
Okay, that's good.
The BST-G2/PO4 is perfect for those needs.
Alright, I might be using this build. Actually, I might be using this build.
Generators can get pretty heavy, but since we have those high load-bearing legs, we might as well just choose the heaviest generator we can find. This generator, the Ling Tai, gives us a reduction in our EN capacity, but notice it's only a slight reduction. Considering the dramatic increase in our EN recharge and supply recovery, I'd say this is a very welcome trade-off.
Yeah,
so in the end, you should have something like this, a close-range AC with an extremely high AP and defensive performance. But we're not done, because once you have a build, you should take a moment to review things. The most important thing to look at is your current load. A good goal is to try and get as close to your weight limit as possible without exceeding it, so if you have a ton of space free at this final stage, it means you might want to go back and put on some heavier parts. Alternatively, if you're nowhere near your load limit, you might want to go back to your leg selection and choose lighter load-bearing legs, as that would confer benefits by bringing you closer to your weight limit. All that said, don't worry too much about being super close to your weight limit. Even though I have some space here, I'm happy with that too, because space means I'll be able to quickly switch to heavier weapons if the mission requires it, without changing any of my other parts, which is really convenient. Speaking of weight, consider expanding the stat screen on your booster here and check that your total weight doesn't exceed your ideal weight spec on your booster by too much. Again, the more you exceed this value,
it might
the
do it,
slower
but not
you'll be
too
able
much,
to
so it won't be
quick
too much
boost
of a penalty.
Last, check your AC's maximum EN load. Like with weight, it's important to be under and as close to your ideal EN load as possible. If you feel like you've settled into a really optimal build, then it's often a great idea to head into the AC data screen. Here, you can name your AC and save this build for future use.
Oh, that's awesome!
This is a great way to get some personal attachment to the build
very good
you're using,
idea.
and also in a practical sense, having multiple builds on hand can help you to quickly adapt to different situations.
And if you fuck up on one, you can be like, hey, let's use this build.
presets over in this tab, as long as you have all their parts available. Finally, consider stockpiling a few backup parts before you go out into missions. This will allow you to switch up your assembly mid-mission, which can be extremely useful. Me, personally, I'm going to buy 2 bazookas, because you never know when you might need a bazooka or 2.
Well,
The
I
first
mean,
mission that new
always
players are kind of
big
likely to
stick.
get stuck on is
Run
this
around with a big
Operation
stick. That's what you have to do.
So I'm going to use this mission to show off a few more advanced mechanics. Our first objective
God,
is to
advanced
take out
mechanics
the
is something
Gatling
I'm not gonna
guns
be able to
over here. Now, while objective markers show you your goal, you don't always have to take the straight route to get there. For example, if we go straight there, we'll have to go through a battlefield and straight into Gatling gunfire, which is not the best idea. So instead, since our build is a little bit on the slower side, let's take the scenic route. The tank is still shooting us,
the scenic
but
route.
by listening for warning signs and staying in the
Gotta
air to
get-
avoid
gotta get
explosions on the
Ranch
ground, we
Cucamonga.
can reduce the damage taken here.
Oh, this one you have. Okay, you have missiles. All right, the missiles are
Next,
coming
we go
after
over
you.
the ramparts, firing our weaponry on the way. Assault Boost keeps us fast enough and tanky enough to avoid the snipers aiming at us, and by tapping Ascend to end my Assault Boost, I can maintain momentum and quickly regain energy on the ground.
See, I wouldn't be able to do that.
By setting up a flanking run, I can take out the Gatling guns without having to stop.
Oh, very nice. The Gatling guns can only face forward.
Next,
That
listen
was
for
pretty
warning
quick.
sounds as you go through the city. These will basically tell you when you're at risk of getting hit. We can use the environment for cover, and even use our compass at the bottom here to locate any nearby enemies.
Oh, that's
there
very
are
good.
quite a few enemy MTs in the city, but directional
not sure I'm gonna
markers
have
will let you know
the-
where an enemy has fired at you from.
The ability, the wherewithal to do all that. The
This
situational
marker lets me know
awareness.
that there's one coming up right behind me.
I'm not sure I'm gonna have the situational awareness for
Kits
that shit.
heal a flat 4,000 AP. You should always try to use them after you've taken 4,000 damage to make sure you get the full benefit from it, but it's also valuable to stay topped up so you don't have to heal in the middle of a fight instead. Our
Well,
next
that's
objective
true.
is the
Yeah.
Baus Tetrapod. It's hidden in a nook under the city. Let's get to it.
Well, he got
There's
there
the
really
Tetrapod.
fast.
Because
Holy
it's a
shit.
single imposing enemy, it's probably a good idea to toggle on our target lock with R3 before we get
Ah,
started.
yes.
When fighting enemies,
Target
it's
lock
important to keep in
definitely,
mind
since
your
it's an
weapon's
imposing
effective
one.
range. This is something that you should try and memorize in the garage before heading into
Oh,
battle.
so it's
Our
close
weapon's
range.
effective
It's very
range is
close range.
236 meters, so we should look at the distance marker and try to keep that in mind.
Oh,
Normally,
damn.
weapon would
All
be
the new
effective
things you have to
this
look at.
range,
Holy
but
shit.
Against this enemy, it's not. That's because this enemy has very high defense. Therefore, our weapon is ricochet at range. Remember to keep an eye out for this
Okay.
ricochet notification while you play. If it appears, it means you'll do little to no damage, unless you get within your ideal range, at which point attack power is guaranteed without ricochets. For
Ah,
this weapon,
yeah.
our ideal range is 115 meters.
Oh, shit. But that's
Because my
really
AC
close,
is
though.
slow and my weaponry is good in short bursts, I'm going to use the environment to my advantage here.
Yes.
By peeking around this corner whenever my missiles are up, I can build up ACS strain at range with no risk. And when the enemy
that's-
is close
that's
to me,
really
that's
good.
great because my machine guns can take it to ACS breaking points without it posing any threat. When playing, consider your build strengths and
Holy
consider the
crap.
enemy's
Okay, yeah,
weaknesses and
I'm gonna
come
be
up with
doing a
plan.
lot of that
If
hiding
that
stuff.
plan
I'm
doesn't
definitely
work,
gonna be doing a lot of
reassess your
hiding.
build or reassess your strategy. That's how you overcome difficulty in Armored Core. See
Jesus,
the bottom right?
it's
That's where you'll be able to notice
repetition
that you've unlocked the
and
checkpoint.
just
We're done
fixing
here,
shit
and we
as
can
it goes
proceed.
along.
But while we're here, we might as well take out the cannons that were pestering us on the wall. These are optional enemies, but every kill rewards us with credits in the bottom right.
Well, yeah.
Therefore, destroying these cannons is well worth it.
And
if we
fuck
have the
them
time.
for trying to hit you.
Our objective marker tells
Really?
us where to go now. but
Screw
there
them
are
for
often
trying to
other
hit
ways
you.
to your objective as well. For example, if we take this door above our objective marker, we can actually sneak inside and get an advantageous high position over our enemies. There's a marker here that
Ah,
denotes
very good
that they're
idea.
unaware of us right now. Damage dealt to these enemies during this time will result in higher impact and ACS strain. The final
Oh,
boss of
damn,
this mission
that boss is- oof.
It's the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut has armor that negates all damage from the front. Note the armor notification here. However, its sides, back, and top are vulnerable.
So
a
that's what
build
you have
that
to do,
has
get to the
great
sides and
generator
back.
capacity and high boost of thrust speed will be able to maneuver in the air and get over the Juggernaut more effectively. Any build can beat the Juggernaut, but if you're using a build that has to return to the ground more often, then you might have a harder time. But if you fail during this
okay.
mission, don't worry. The game's checkpoint system will instantly allow you to restart at difficult encounters. What's more, if you have the parts, then you can consider quickly switching up your build here. by
Oh,
entering the
nice!
symbol. Remember how
The
I said my build
checkpoint
has
system
some
allows you
extra
to
load
quick
free?
change your build?
Well, I'm going to make use of
Oh,
that now,
fucking hell,
and I'm
yes,
going
without having to
equip
redo
2
everything?
heavy bazookas
Oh,
instead
God,
of my
that is
machine guns.
amazing.
These bazookas
I
deal
will be
explosive
using
damage,
that,
which
'cause I'm
will
probably
help
gonna
you
die a
stagger
lot.
the Juggernaut much more effectively. The Juggernaut is a slow, large target, so the usual drawbacks of using bazookas don't really come into play here.
Yeah,
Another
no,
thing to
they
consider
don't.
during this fight is whether you want to use target assist with R3 or not. It's true that, yes, target assist is generally great if we're just facing one singular enemy.
Yeah, but not
there
this
are
one.
absolutely exceptions to this rule. The Juggernaut is one of them. Target assist has a few drawbacks in this fight. For one, it forces you to move at an angle respective to the enemy. This
that's
is
not
especially
good.
concerning if I try to assault boost towards the Juggernaut. Doing this while locked on means
Yeah.
I'm assault boosting right into its
Directly
front.
into fire. That's
not where I
never
want to
good.
go. With target lock disabled, we're able to move more freely around the enemy. What's more, our assault boost is free to be aimed above or beside the Juggernaut, better enabling us
Okay.
to get around it.
If it's
As an
a
added
slow
incentive,
static
playing
thing,
without
then
target
yeah.
lock actually increases the tracking strength of your lock-on, so our shots will find a target more often if we don't use target assist. Consider all of these things and your overall skill level when considering
Well, yeah,
whether to use target
yeah,
lock in your
damn.
missions.
Okay, that's very beneficial for
Shortly
that one.
after Operation Wall Climber, 2 new menus will become available: the Arena and OS Tuning.
Oh,
The
God, I'm not
Arena
gonna
is
be
a
doing
ranked
Arena ever.
simulator
Nope.
where you can fight enemy AC. There's no healing or multiple enemies, just a fair one-on-one fight. Here you can climb in the ranks, and while we can only fight against F-rank opponents at this early stage of the game, game, more enemies will be unlocked as you progress in your missions. And the arena is absolutely something you should be clearing as soon as new AC fights become available.
Okay.
Not only is this invaluable practice for some of the hardest fights in the game, not only are you rewarded with credits with no repair or ammunition costs, the most important thing is that you're also rewarded with a crucial resource, OST chips. OST chips are a resource that can be spent on various categorical upgrades for your AC. This is done in the OS tuning menu, and once you're here, you'll be met with a series of upgrades. Some of the upgrades in these menus are intended for more experienced players. For example, few players will ever find they need to aim manually or to enter a mission while overburdened, so be careful not to waste your points on upgrades that you won't use. That said, you can recover your spent OST chips by pressing triangle or Y. This will cost you 4,000 credits for every OS upgrade you need to undo. But some upgrades here will make any player
undoing
stronger, regardless of their skill level. While I'd recommend you read through and consider these yourself, let's go through each category now and pick out a few priorities. In terms of system unlocks, one that I'd absolutely recommend everyone unlock eventually is the kick function. With this enabled, you'll be able to do a melee slam at the end of your assault boost by pressing L3 once again. This is especially great while you're hard-locked onto an enemy with target assist, and it's the perfect capstone to an enemy who is almost guard broken because it saves you having to expend ammunition on breaking their guard, and it leaves your ammunition free to capitalize on the
extra little stun thing too.
Next, let's talk expansions. Once unlocked, expansions can be slotted into your AC's assembly, and while you can only equip one expansion at a time, you can invest into unlocking multiple charges of each expansion. However, note that unlocking multiple expansion charges is expensive, and there's a cooldown period after using an expansion charge. By default, expansions are activated by pressing L3 and triangle or Y simultaneously.
See, that's why
However,
controllers
you
are
can switch
better
these controls
in
in
general
the game
for these
settings
games.
here. Personally, I prefer Type B, which allows activation with L3 and R3, which is easy to remember. When you're just starting out, it is easy to forget to use your expansions, so if you're new to the game, then I'd actually recommend that you choose a passive expansion instead. For example, this is Terminal Armor. Once equipped, it's always active and will always keep you alive at 1 AP for a few more seconds in a situation where you would have been destroyed.
It's like
this
last
can
chance
give
or
you valuable
something.
time to heal or just survive a little longer. I really can't overstate how useful passive upgrades are in an input-heavy game like Armored Core 6. After Terminal Armor, I'd recommend getting the early ranks of many passive upgrades. You can't go too wrong here, and by investing in passive upgrades, you can rest assured that your AC is becoming more powerful.
Damn,
And
man.
that concludes the guide. Thank you for watching. More tips.
It is
lore,
a
and secrets
very,
about Armored Core 6,
very
consider
in-depth
subscribing
guide.
to my channel.
I will.
Other than
Holy
that,
shit,
thank you for
dude.
watching, and thank you to Ben
I
and
like
Andrew
it.
for
I like this
commissioning
guide. I
video.
really do like
Good
this
luck,
guide.
everybody.
I hope you guys are liking it too. And of course, I'm gonna play Armored Core whenever I can, as soon as I'm able to get it. But now I know how difficult it is. It's a very input-heavy game, and I do better on controller with input-heavy games. And thank you, Vaati, as well. Vaati Vidya, for this guide. This is definitely an amazing guide to have, and of course I wanted to react to it because I am a dude who does not do very well at these games. I am shit at Armored Core. I was really bad at well, I was okay with MechWarrior, but Armored Core, I never was able to get it like the old school Armored Cores, the ones that got very, very heavy. I think Armored Core 5 was pretty heavy with the inputs, just like Armored Core 6 is. And after Elden Ring, I'm more inclined to go with these games. I'm more inclined to try my best with these games. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should really go for it and go gung-ho and finish it all and do it all? Do it now! Do it all as much as I can. I will do what I can. I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Mad Salvi saying I will see you guys next time. Maybe next time when you see me, you're going to bite my shiny metal booty in Armored Core. We will see. Thank you so much. Let me know. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.